like if you found the video valuable. When Ethan moved into the old boarding house, he expected creaky floors and drafty windows. The rent was cheap, and after weeks of apartment hunting, he was grateful to find anything. The landlord, a gaunt woman with cloudy eyes, showed him to his room. As they walked up the narrow staircase, she paused at the dimly lit hallway. At the very end was a door, darker than the others, its frame warped as if it had been forced into place. Her voice turned sharp. "One rule," she said. "Never open the door at the end of the hall. Ever." Ethan gave a nervous laugh, thinking it was some strange house joke. "What's behind it?" Her eyes narrowed. "Nothing you want to meet." The first nights passed quietly. Ethan adjusted to the house's groans and sighs, the shuffle of other tenants moving in their rooms. But inevitably, his attention was drawn to that door. It was odd. He never saw anyone go near it, yet sometimes at night, faint tapping echoed from behind it. Other times, he swore he heard whispering, so low it felt like it was crawling straight into his ears. One evening, as he returned from work, he saw one of the older tenants, Mr. Harris, standing in the hallway staring at the door. His hand trembled inches from the knob. Ethan cleared his throat, and Harris flinched, tearing his gaze away. "Don't linger near it," the man muttered, almost to himself. "It doesn't like to be noticed." That night, Ethan lay awake, listening. The house was silent, until it wasn't. Tap, 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 slow and steady, like fingernails against wood. He pressed his pillow over his ears, but the sound seeped through. And then, faintly, a voice. "Let me out." Ethan sat upright, his heart pounding. He waited, but the whispers faded, leaving only the silence. Days turned into weeks. Curiosity began to gnaw at him. The other tenants avoided the door, never speaking of it. The landlord's warning echoed in his head, but so did that voice. One stormy evening, when the power flickered out and the halls were bathed in shadow, Ethan found himself standing in front of it. The wood was ice cold beneath his fingers. He pressed his ear against it. A breath whispered back, "Please." His hand closed around the knob before he realized what he was doing. It was warm, too warm. Something alive on the other side. He turned it. The door creaked open a fraction, and a gust of air rushed past him, smelling of rot and damp earth. The darkness beyond seemed thicker than the unlit hallway, shifting as though it were breathing. "Ethan," the voice sighed, knowing his name. He stumbled back, but the door inched wider on its own. A pale hand, long-fingered and wrong, slipped through the crack. Its nails scratched the floorboards as it pulled itself forward. Ethan slammed the door with all his weight, heart racing, the hand withdrawing just before the frame clicked shut. From the other side came a hiss, followed by furious pounding that shook the walls. The next morning, the landlord confronted him. Her face was pale with rage, but her voice was trembling. "You touched it," Ethan stammered. Something knew my name." Her cloudy eyes filled with a strange sorrow. "It always knows. That's why we don't answer." He wanted to leave, but when he packed his bags and tried the front door, it wouldn't budge. Neither did the windows. The house had him now. That night, the whispers returned, louder, hungrier. The pounding at the end of the hall grew violent, shaking dust from the ceiling. Ethan sat in his room, hands over his ears, knowing it was only a matter of time before the door opened on its own. And when it did, it would no longer need an invitation.